What is up, everybody? Welcome into episode 54 of the Brahma Bullpen. It's your boy here, the Bullpen. I know it's been a while. We've taken some time off. There's been a lot of stuff going on. One of the main things going on is I think I need to get rid of that Cowboys pennant right there. I don't know what the heck those guys are doing, but we ain't here to talk about Cowboys. We are here to talk about the UFL and the International Football Alliance here on behalf of United Football Media, coming to you from the cow pasture. That's right, we're back in the cow pasture. We're in the home studios. We're set up now, having a good time. We're going to talk a little Brahmas. We're going to talk a little Cabelleros. We might even have a little inside information on Cabelleros, so stick with me. First half of the show will be Brahmas. Second half of the show will be Cabelleros. It's going to be the kind of format we're moving forward as we get into spring football and summer football. NFL's already winding down. College football's going crazy. If you guys are watching college football, so much stuff going on. UTSA, one game away from being bowl eligible down here in San Antonio. You got the Aggies and the Longhorns meeting after 12 years with a chance of making not only the SEC Conference Championship game, but also chance of making the first ever 12-team playoff. Aggies are ranked number 4. Longhorns are actually ranked number 2, I believe, right now. So that's kind of where we're at. Oh, excuse me, number 3. Ohio State's number 2. Just all kinds of crazy, cool stuff going on in football. But, hey, man, we're going to talk about alternative football here. Thanks for joining me out here in the cow pasture. We'll go ahead and do what they call pay the bills, right? Pay the bills. Recording this, we're in the middle of November, so we're about a month and a half away from one of my favorite times of the year. And that's right, fireworks season is just down the road, baby. Bangers, fireworks. We got 2 locations here in the San Antonio area. So if you're watching this and you're a San Antonio alternative sports football fan, you want to help support the community, I promise you, pretty much every penny I make working fireworks, selling fireworks, getting sponsorships, all this stuff, I pretty much use it to pay for my football addiction. So, hey, help your boy out, help pay for his football addiction. But we got 2 locations there. Addresses are listed. Feel free to check us out come New Year's. You know, we do have the best product at the best prices. And, you know, you can check us out on Facebook. We got a Facebook page. And see what people say about us. Test us out. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started, man. Let's go ahead and get everything rocking and rolling. I'm going to pop up this graphic here. So, starting with the Brahmas, tons of signings. The UFL, social media, UFL, communications departments putting out constant signings or signings for every team. This is the most accurate roster you'll be able to find, specifically dealing with the Brahmas. I've been kind of keeping up with it myself. We'll go ahead and kind of go through this. The cool thing about this roster is tons of players returning. And I don't want to start at the top of the page. Let's start at the bottom of the page because I got something special for the top of the page. And if you guys follow me on social media, you already know what's going down with that. I'm extremely excited with the very first name at the top of this page. But starting at the bottom of special teams, it's already been announced that Brad Wing and Destroying are coming back. So we got our social media guru, YouTube guru. There was a lot of people online talking about whether Destroying comeback was a good idea or bad idea. He really didn't kick a field goal last year. He got hurt on a playoff. We really don't know how good of a kicker he is. The only, you can find some practice footage. You can go look at his college career. I think he's going to do just fine. Whatever brings eyeballs to the screen. The controversy was he was asking for like some concessions. Says he don't want to be practicing super early and stuff like that. That's not for us as fans, our podcasters, our nobodies out here in the cow pasture to worry about. That's for the coaches to worry about. That's for the team. One thing I know about teams in locker rooms, if there's a problem in the locker room is going to solve that problem. So, anyways, welcome back, Destroying. Welcome back, Brad Wing. Moving up through our cornerback and safety position, Corey Mayfield Jr. is coming back. Darius Phillips, the number 1 cornerback in the UFL last year, PFF score-wise. Darius Phillips is coming back. We got Jordan Mosley coming back. We did lose out on A.J. Hindley, but we got Chris Steele, Jalen Elliott, and Tariq Carpenter. Bo Peep Keys is coming back from last year's team. He was one of the guys that kind of filled in as people got hurt. We got Caleb Ford and Derek Langford. All those names I just mentioned, we got our starting secondary, and I think we're going to be very sound back there. One of the more exciting position groups that we've been announced that are signing, Jordan Williams and Tavante Beckett are both coming back. You don't need to hear nothing else. Even that is amazing. We got Robert Barnes. We got Nate Weiland, who plays that hybrid edge. He's coming back, played tons of snaps for us last year. Toby Nadukui, excuse me if I pronounce that wrong. I do apologize, Toby, coming back. Getting down to the D-line, we definitely are waiting on a couple more announcements on the D-line, but we do got Vincent coming back. Savion Patton, one of the fan favorites, Texas State's own Savion Patton coming back. One thing about Savion Patton is got a little interact with his mom last year, got to interact with him. We even bought him a San Antonio Brahmas cowboy hat that we had custom made for him. We were able to get that to him last year, so welcome back on that. D-line's looking stout. We got Zach McLeod coming back. We got Kobe Jones. He played a little bit for us. All that being said, our defense is looking awesome. And you would think, that would be enough. But it's never enough. If you look at the banner above my head, right up over here digitally, you can see we are the XL Conference champions. We made it to the championship game. We're not going to talk about the championship game, but we did beat St. Louis in the conference championship game. Take that, St. Louis. Battle chickens. But getting to our offense, man, we got tons of offensive guys back. Justin Smith, Marquez Stevenson, Jonte Kirkland. There's your 3 starting wide receivers right there. We got other guys coming back, and Sexton, and I think Nelson was on the roster. Don't quote me on that. I could have Googled it, but I'm working off memory here, And it's been an off season, so cut me some slack. And I've been drinking a lot, so not a lot like I got a problem. Okay, calm down. But going on, we got Alize Mack coming back. I'm super excited for this. As you guys have known, I've probably said it a bunch of times, tight end's my favorite position on the field. That's kind of what I watch. That's kind of what I like. My favorite all-time player of all time is Jay Novacek. I'm going to turn a little bit right here. That's a Jay Novacek autographed Cowboys hat right there. A helmet. Excuse me. I said hat. What the hell's wrong with me? Anyways, that's a Jay Novacek helmet. One of my new additions to the man cave here. No current Cowboys players have made the glass case back there. I don't think they deserve it. But anyways, love to see him come back. He's one of those OG guys. Played with the original iteration of the Brahmas in the XFL. Was obviously here last year. Coming back for year 3. He played tons of football last year in the Wade Phillips offense, the A.J. Smith offense. So we're definitely happy he's coming back. Moving on from tight ends, we got John Lovett, one of our top running backs last year, coming back. We got LaDamian Webb and Jashawn Corbin. Jashawn Corbin's been in and out of spring alternative football. He's a great pickup. And then getting down to the big uglies, getting down to the hog mollies, getting down to the diesel pushers. You know what I'm saying? We got tons of offensive linemen coming back. Sam Teckenberg, he filled in tremendously well last year when Alex Millett went out with an injury. We haven't heard anything from Millett yet this year. We'd love to have him back, but the good news is Teckelberg, great starting center. Let's go. Justin Safer, Tyron Hunt, Willie Tyler. Up at our left tackle, we got Monterio and Falega and Kelly all coming back. They all played tons of rep for us last year. What an amazing group of O-linemen we got back. And these are the players that have been announced. Obviously, when we get closer to training camp, there's going to be a bunch of more players brought into training camp, and they're going to weed their way out. We'll try to keep up with it as much as we can. When we get closer to training camp rosters, we probably won't be updating this graphic as much while we see who makes a team and who doesn't make the team, because we don't have to be changing names constantly. But right now, everybody on this list has been signed and will be part of at least your training camp iteration of the 2025 XFL Conference repeat champion San Antonio Brahmas. Well, did I just call my shot? I sure the heck did. Deal with it. And then we got Kevin Hogan at quarterback. And obviously, Kevin Hogan played some snaps for us last year. We love having him back. And I know I left a name off the roster. By the way, this roster, I'm going to post it and tag it on my X account. So at SA Brahma Bullpen, if you guys want to check this out, print it out, do whatever. But it is current as of today, November 19th, as the most complete roster you'll be able to find for the Brahmas that is published. So with that, something I'm extremely excited about. That's right. I've been begging on social media to anybody who would listen for like 2 or 3 years to bring Kellen Mond, the one and only all-time leading passer in Texas A&M history, to come down here, yardage speaking, and play for his hometown team. Those that don't know, San Antonio is home for Kellen Mond. He played his high school football down here before going to Florida to that academy. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. Sorry, it's like that real popular academy. People go play football in Florida so they can make it to D1 ball. And then he did that. Of course, he started tons of games for Jimbo Fisher up at Texas A&M. He was the 2020 starting quarterback for the 9-1 Texas A&M Aggies that were gypped out of making the playoff at that time. Yeah, I'm still bitter. College football. They put Notre Dame in over us that year. And I'll debate with anybody whether or not Notre Dame should even have a chance to make the playoff. I mean, come on, man. They're not even in a conference, right? Play by the same rules as everybody else. Who do you think you are? Yes, I know they beat the Aggies game 1. Yeah. I was there. But still, we're very excited to have K-Mon down here in San Antonio. Can't wait to see him in this A.J. Smith offense. You know, he played sort of that spread, not necessarily the air raid in College Station, but he definitely was orchestrating in the spread there in College Station in Jimbo's office. A.J. Smith's office, a lot more movement, a lot more spread out, but super awesome. We're going to talk a little bit about A.J. Smith later and kind of work those alternative football connections here in San Antonio. It's going to be pretty neat when we switch to Caballero talk, but super excited. K-Mo's coming down here. I mean, dude, I'm a huge Texas A&M fan, being a season ticket holder for decades. I'm down here in San Antonio, love the Brahmas, season ticket holder at the Brahmas, and I've had my fandoms just merged together under the tutelage of Wade Phillips, which is another football icon. I mean, let's just appreciate that. I don't even know what else to say. You know, being part of United Football Media and having a chance to talk football, even if one person in the whole planet watches this, I don't care. I got Kellen Mond, starting quarterback for the San Antonio Brahmas, playing in the Alamo Dome in San Antonio with tons of talent coming back around him. What an awesome deal, man. I'm just rambling. Sorry about that. We'll just pop up a random UFL news graphic. At the time of recording this, the rumors are the schedule for the UFL is going to be released very, very soon. The other rumors that you may or may not like is that the Brahmas might wind up going 4 or 5 weeks into the season before they actually get a home game. Now, don't get mad. People are like, oh, play in another dome, play in New Braunfels. Please. Look, man, we play in the Alamo Dome. And what I'll say is we got March Madness. The Final Four is going to be in the Dome. I mean, come on. It's business. It's business. I get it. One day we hope that the UFL would produce a significant enough business to where we wouldn't have to be worried about being transplanted by probably the second largest sporting event on the planet. I don't know if we'll ever get there, but I mean, come on, man. The Final Four, March Madness, only outdone by the Super Bowl and maybe some weird European soccer. I don't know. Might outdo it. But with all that being said, hey, we're going to get our home games. No big deal. One of the things that we're going to have to deal with is we're going to have one less home game than everybody else. Thanks, UFL. But, you know, it's still the establishing. We're still working through the items to establish a league. You know, here it is in November. We're going to start playing football in March. We wish the schedules were out already. Maybe one day we'll start getting them a year in advance. I know they're already released 2025 schedule for Texas A&M, right? I'm already making plans and booking off weekends to go to Aggie games. Well, I can't do that with the Brahmas right now, but we're getting there. We're getting there. I'm not complaining. I'm saying it's happening, though, folks. We'll get there. It's going to take time. The Aggies have been playing football for 120, 30 years, whatever it is. It's not the same thing. We're going to play an extra game in St. Louis, but that's okay. We call that Cal Pasture North anyways. We win in there. The dome don't scare us. When we're there, St. Louis don't even show up. I don't even know. And speaking of UFL news, you guys know I've always called AJ crying AJ McCarron. If you go back and find some old videos, we had AJ with graphics crying here. Well, he cried so much his own coach cut him on social media. Didn't even do it face-to-face. Crazy. I don't know what's going on over there, but evidently it pissed AJ off to the point where he's like, I'm coming back, and I want to beat you. Cool drama for the league. I'm down for it. But, he was on some podcast crying because he got cut, I don't know. Whatever, dude. Be a man. Deal with it. But rumor is he's going to D.C. Nothing's been confirmed. That's just a rumor that I've heard. So that would be kind of cool. AJ, more drama for the league. Who's going to be the quarterback up in St. Louis? I don't know. Stay tuned. Clickbait Beck is doing it again. He's already dropping teasers on X. But anyways, that's going to be it for our Brahmas talk for today. So we're going to pop up this. I'm going to click this little magic button right here. Bam. That's right. Now we're talking Cabelleros, folks. We're talking Caballero, as you can tell by the background. Look, I don't have any Cabelleros gear. My ultimate goal, obviously, is to support both teams. The International Football Alliance has been amazing to the United Football media so far, been amazing to us here in the bullpen. We love them. We want to do everything we can do to make that league survive and be successful. The league's ownership are awesome people. They just love football. We got Hal Mummy, the air raid in our midst here in San Antonio. We got AJ Smith in our midst here in San Antonio. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. Air raid all over the place down here in San Antonio, baby. But popping up the schedule, starting in June 7th, we're playing the Dallas Pioneeros. The Pioneeros in Dallas. This is one of the, I don't know if it's an original IFF team, but it was an IFA team that exists in their previous iteration. They put it up there in Dallas. It's going to be kind of cool because our Browse is a coach there, and, it'll be kind of neat to see these two air raid offense gurus going at each other. And then we got home games on the 28th with the Tornadoes. We got the Chihuahua team down there in Mexico. We got the Ironman up in Ohio this week. Tons of Ohio Ironman information has been dropping. So it's looking like it's going to be a good season, It's crazy, right? This league starts in June, and we have a schedule with dates, and this is their first year in this iteration. So, I mean, it's not that hard to get dates and schedules, right? Play Ironman back-to-back, then we play the Baltimore Lightning twice, and we play the Pioneeros. I will say that I would bet on this schedule being adjusted, right? I'm going to just go out on a limb and say this schedule is not going to stay as was just posted, and here's why. Sorry for this graphic if it's a little blurry. I wanted to get all the teams on here at one time, and I didn't want to have to pop up a whole bunch of different things. But essentially, there's 7 teams on here. I don't know how it will work going into a league with 7 teams. You would think you would want an even number. I don't know. I haven't heard anything. But if we go with 7, we'll go with 7. No problem. We're down. We're going to roll with 7. I'm just saying that don't be surprised if there's another team added to this and the schedules are adjusted just a little bit, And I'm just using cow pasture math. We call that cow pasture math down here. 7 is not an even number. That is not a number. But we're going to get into what we learned at a meet and greet here in San Antonio, down at the historic Menger Hotel. For those who don't know, Menger Hotel's right next to the Alamo Dome. It's one of the ones that's supposed to be haunted in San Antonio, so some people go down there and stay there just because they want to hear ghosts or something. I don't know. But it was pretty neat. They did this little call out on social media, invited people to meet and greet, and I thought it was more like meet the team, meet the players. If you follow the Cabelleros on X or follow the IFA on social media, they have been signing tons of players. Tons of players, tons of stud players, by the way. Players that have played in the SEC, in the Big 12. We got conference championship players signed to the Brahmas. Cabelleros. Look, I'm probably going to do that a lot. I'm probably going to say Brahmas and Cabelleros and get them confused a lot. I hope the league doesn't get mad at me for that. One thing that's pretty cool that I think I might be able to get away with when I mess up and say the wrong stuff is because Hal Mumme and AJ Smith are both air raid folks, right? Hal Mumme's and Mike Leach created this air raid concept. But now they have a business together where they go out and teach air raid, and they actually do an air raid certification program for high school coaches, aspiring coaches. Maybe you just want to learn football. But they got a little business. They do little conferences online, in person. You get certified as an air raid coach. You can get your continuing education, do all that stuff. So they got this cool little business together. So it's kind of neat. I'm hoping that the leagues, they're in co-opetition maybe, but the IFA is going to be starting when the UFL is ending. So hopefully we'll be able to, as a media person and a fan covering both teams, hopefully we'll be able to, keep a copacetic relationship and deal with both. But it's awesome that they are able to do that. I'm going to go ahead and pull up my notes from the meet and greet. So if I'm looking down here at this little doohickey, it's because, I'm a dummy in a cow pasture. I can't remember everything off the top of my head. I'm going to be honest with you. I had another graphic I was going to pull up for the Brahmas, and I forgot to pull it up. So we'll revisit that later. But one thing that I'm going to just go over some bullet points that we learned. The interesting part about this meet and greet was that the players hadn't even met each other. Some of the coaches hadn't even met each other. And then there was some of us little podcasters, media type folks that are going to be covering the team there. So we all literally met each other at one time. Speaking of co-opetition, the Brahma Bulletin was down there. He's going to be covering the Caballero, and also the Smoking Guns podcast will be there. They cover pretty much all professional football here in San Antonio. And it was just cool hanging out with those guys and asking questions. We got to sit there and literally talk to Coach Hal Mumme for 30, 45 minutes. Dude bought me a whiskey and Coke, I was like, dang, man, where you at, Wade Phillips? Hal Mumme's buying me drinks at a bar. I mean, I'm just saying. Had a great time. One of the little snidbits that we got out of it was a 2-week training camp. 2-week training camp when this league's going to kick off. Is that enough time? Probably not. But you got to do what you got to do when you're establishing. What I will tell you is Coach Mumme's got a plan. His plan, and if you look at the players that they've been posting that they're inviting to camp, he is focusing on players that have played the air raid offense, played in the air raid offense. They're doing the same thing on defense. They're hiring players that are familiar with the scheme that the defensive coaches run. So if you want to play in this league, it's a huge benefit to have previous experience. It's going to be a 2-week training camp. They don't want to have to teach everything from square one. So a lot of these players are getting preferential treatment as far as getting roster spots and camp invites at the moment. In the future, that might work itself out as you get longer training camps. But it's a genius move, right? Like, hire the guys that already have experience in what you're doing, and let's get on the field, right? Pretty neat deal. It's going to be pretty neat. They already have broadcast partners for the league. There's going to be an app come out. Well, the app's already out, but there's going to be streaming options, and there's going to be advertising options on there. So all that stuff's coming out. And it was pretty neat. They were asking, like, hey, what do you think is about advertising? How should that structure look like? What should it cost? What would an advertiser want? Do you have contacts in the San Antonio area that may want to advertise? I mean, it's a pretty neat deal to be part of, to watch it get built from the ground up. And, if the thing blows up, small-time advertisers probably won't be able to keep up. But right now, if you're in the San Antonio area, you own a little business, you want some advertising time, it's going to go worldwide, and you love football, hey, man, DM me, hit me up. I'll put you in touch with who you need to get in touch with. No big deal. We'll get your commercial on something. You know what I mean? Who knows? Maybe there'll be a cow pasture commercial out there. Is it going to be me walking in a cow pasture? Huh? That'd be kind of, I don't know. You think I could get subscribers if I advertise? Hit me up. Let me know. Anyways, another thing that was pretty cool talking to Coach was he talked a lot about the logos. You can see I got the background. I got the the logo over here that the league's using on the meet and greet invitation. There's a possibility that logo might get tweaked. I don't know. I'm not saying it will. I'm not saying it won't. But there's no swag. As you can see, I'm not wearing Caballero swag because if there was some, I definitely would buy it. The other thing is, what are our uniforms going to look like? You got some examples of the helmets on some of the decals you can see in the bottom corner over here. Helmet concept that's been released. I was told, look at the Ole Miss Rebels baby blue alternative uniforms and be prepared for that type of uniform, which I think is freaking cool. I love those baby blue uniforms. Love the way they look. And who knows? We might have the coldest threads in the league, right? One of the other things they talked about they're going to definitely do in the area are Kids Academy. One big difference between the IFA and the UFL is the IFA teams are going to be local. The players are going to be local. The coaches are going to be local. And they specifically said they're going to do everything to put on Air Raid Kids Academy when they get mobilized down here. A lot of this stuff is looking to start in early 2025, spring 2025 in preparation for the league kicking off in the summer. Their schedule is going to be 30 weeks a year. They're going to be down here working 30 weeks a year, 52 weeks. 52 weeks in a year. The IFA's plan is to have staff, operations, and things happening for 30 of those weeks in San Antonio, which is pretty awesome. One of the things that I thought was pretty cool, how's Mummy's goal, excuse me if I wet my whistle a little bit, how's Mummy's goal of this whole league is to take players and get them NFL ready. But one of the cool things, and we know that, right? We know that as alternative sports football fans. Everybody wants to get to the NFL. No problem. We understand our role here. We'd hope these leagues one day grow and be successful enough to the point where you might get some career players. Who knows? But right now we're young, right? Walk before you can run. But one of the things he said that I thought was pretty cool, his goal is also to get coaches ready to coach in the NFL. There was a post on X basically saying everybody runs a mesh these days. That's air raid. That's mesh points. They're even saying it on broadcast now. I've watched football my whole life. I don't remember an announcer going like, "Oh, the mesh point, they played it perfectly," or whatever, And now people are using that word, and that's a credit to these offenses being a success. But their goal is to get coaches ready to coach in the NFL or college or high school and things of that matter. Stan Bedwell has been, who is the offensive coordinator, I think, or GM. Oh, man, I just drew a brain fart. I think Stan Bedwell is definitely with the team. But I'm going to have to do some Googling. Sorry, brain fart. But anyways, he's been literally making posts saying, hey, you're a coach and want a job. I got a bunch of high schools and smaller colleges looking for coaches right now. Hit me up. Like, just trying to help people find coaching gigs and follow their career. It's a pretty cool deal. That's awesome. I guess one of the last things I want to say that I was able to confirm is that the league is pro. I don't know. I shouldn't say the league. I definitely will say the goal is to sell alcohol in the stadiums. That is good news, right? What better than a football Saturday night under the lights and a cold beer in San Antonio? We're going to be playing at the University of Incarnate Word Stadium here in San Antonio. Majority of the games, as has been mentioned before, are going to be at night because of the heat in summer. So be prepared for that. Have a cold beer. Come watch football. And I'm going to kind of jump back right here real quick just to kind of end everything. Sorry about that. Just to kind of end everything with the Brahmas. The little bit of news that we want to share with the UFL. So the UFL has signed a few guys to leadership positions. Looks like Vince Pisano, he's going to be Senior Vice President of Creative Content. Jason Bastine, Vice President, Partner and Strategy Solutions. What a title, right? We got Jen Seller going to be Vice President of Marketing and Brand. And we got Mike Wade going to be Senior Vice President of Communications. So all these folks will be working under the direction of Russ Brandon. League has got stuff going on. We got stuff going on in the UFL. We got stuff going on in the IFA. We got the Brahmas doing work. We got the Cabelleros doing work. I'm coming to you out of season, having a cold beer, and telling everybody that thanks for listening on behalf of the United Football Media. We're going to end it like we always end it, with a horns forward. And I don't know what we're saying for Caballeros, but we're going to just say Viva Caballeros at the moment. Let's go San Antonio. On behalf of United Football Media from the cow pasture, see you on the flip side, baby.